Hi YouTube, peace and blessings. Here's my first mathematics video for elementary students. This is listing outcomes. I did both of these lessons for 4th and 5th grade. The lesson at times can be difficult, but hopefully the PowerPoint will help you and your students. Thank you. Objectives. Today, students will be able to list all possible results for a situation. Here's our engagement. Jake is playing a game at the summer picnic in which he catches a fish. The fish have the numbers shown below. What is the probability for each statement below? Number 1. Jake will catch a fish with a number less than 10. What is the probability of that? Fewer than half of the fish have numbers less than 10, so it is unlikely that Jake will win. Let's see how many numbers are less than 10. I see a 4, I see an 8, and I see a number 3. That is it. Let's go to number 2. Jake will catch a fish with a number greater than 30 wins. What do you think about the probability of Jake catching a fish with a number greater than 30 that will win? None of the fish have numbers greater than 30, so it is impossible for Jake to win. How about number 3? Jake will catch a fish with a number between 10 and 20 that will win. A number or numbers between 10 and 20. Are you looking? Let's see what the answer is. The same number of fish are winners as losers, so it is equally likely that Jake will win as lose. Okay, let's move on to our lesson. Now, usually I will have someone to come up to the board when I call their name, but we're going to use fictitious names today. So I'm going to call Megan, Deanna, Rainey, John, Jeremy, Josh, and Jacob M. If I select one girl, there are 3 possible outcomes. Okay? Megan, Deanna, and Rainey. So selecting one girl, there are only 3 possible outcomes. How about if I select one boy? There should be also 3 possible outcomes. John, Jeremy, Josh, and Jacob M. If I select one girl and one boy, how can I find all of the possible outcomes? Let's take a look. I'm going to use a diagram. So I'm going to select one girl. I'm going to select Megan first. So the possibilities are Megan and John, Megan and Jeremy, Megan and Josh, Megan and Jacob. How about a boy? I'm sorry. How about with Deanna? Deanna and John, Deanna and Jeremy, Deanna and Josh, Deanna and Jacob. Now, if I want to use another young lady, it will be Rainey and John, Rainey and Jeremy, Rainey and Josh, and Rainey and Jacob. Those are all the possibilities if I select one girl and one boy. So how many possible girl-boy outcomes are there altogether? 12. Okay, let's do another exploration. If you look at the board, we have here 2 spinners, spinner 1 and spinner 2. We want to answer 3 questions. concerning both spinners. We're going to look at possible outcomes if we spin both of the spinners. So first, let's write down the possible outcomes. Now, we're going to start with 2. 2 would be selected or actually landed on with the first spinner. And then the possibility for the second spinner would be 1, 2, 4, or 8. With the first spinner, you could select in another try the 4. And with that, the other spinner would have the selections or possible outcomes of 1, 2, 4, and 8. So let's answer these 3 questions. If you spin the 2 spinners, what are the possible sums? So we have listed the outcomes if you select 2 with a 1, 2 with a 2, 2 with a 4, 2 with an 8. We also have that if you select on spinner 1 a 4, with spinner 2, you could have 4 from the first spinner with the 1, 4 from the first spinner with the 2, 4 from the first spinner with a 4 from the second spinner, and 4 with an 8 from the second spinner. So let's look at the question again. If you spin the 2 spinners, what are the possible sums? 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, and 12. So that means that if I spin a 2 on the first spinner and a 1 on the second spinner, 2 plus 1 is 3. If I spin a 2 on the first spinner and a 2 on the second spinner, 2 plus 2 is 4. And we go on and so on with the other numbers. Let's look at number 2. Which sum is more likely, a 3 or 6? When spinning both spinners, which sum would you likely land on, a 3 or 6? A 6. Let's look at why. You would land on a 6 because 2 plus 4 is 6, right? 4 plus 2 at the bottom, when you look at the spinner, is 6. It's more likely that you will have more 6's as the sum when looking even at the last column that says sum. It's only 1 3 as far as the sum. Let's look at number 3. Are there more odd or even sums? So we're going to take a peek at the column that says sum. Are there more odd sums or even sums? More even. We have 4, 6, 10, and 8, and 12. Let's move on. Now, what are the possible outcomes? Let's look at this word problem. Tamika and Janet are selecting tiles from the bag shown at the right. The possible colors they can select are red, blue, green, and yellow. Each possible result is an outcome. So if Tamika selected red, that is an outcome. If Jeanette selected a green, that is called an outcome. Now, we're going to get a little bit more deeper into listing outcomes. It says here to list all the possible outcomes for spinning the spinner shown, which has red or blue, and tossing a number cube with the numbers 1 through 6. So if I spin the spinner, the possibilities would either be red or blue. the number cubes would be 1 through 6. So we have it listed here for you. Red would be the first selection if I spin the spinner, would be red 1. Red would go with red 2, red 3, red 4, red, this is me spinning, red 5, red, I spent on red, and I got a 6 on the number cube, that will be red 6. Now we could do the same exact thing for the blue spinner. That means we would land on the blue side after we spin the spinner, and we would get blue, and blue 1, blue 2, blue 3, blue 4, blue 5, and blue 6 are the possible outcomes when you take one spin of the spinner and one roll of the die. I hope you enjoyed yourself, YouTube. Maybe you can explain better to your young ones, maybe turn the volume down. But I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching. Peace and blessings.